Thank you very much once again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ring the bell if you know of someone who was involved in a bank fraud. No? Wow. Well, oh, there's someone. You know what they say? Money, money, money must be funny in a rich man's world. Isn't that true? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we delve deeper into the realm of financial security, please join me in welcoming representatives from the Association of Banks who will be enlightening us on the subject of banking fraud recognition and prevention. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Gurnam Singh, Head of Fraud Management, Consumer Credit Operations, CIMB Bank Berhad, and Mr. Ng Cho Sim, Head of Digital Banking Malaysia, CIMB Bank Berhad. Please put your hands together for the both of them.
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I basically will share with you all what I actually do in the bank. I'm actually in charge of managing fraud for the consumer banking product, which is mainly online banking, credit card, and debit card. So in my division, my team actually works 24/7 to ensure our customers are safeguarded. So now I'll just take you all through some of the financial fraud and scams that we have seen in the bank. So what is financial fraud? Financial fraud can be broadly defined as intentional of deception involving financial transaction for the purpose of personal gain. Fraud is a crime and is also a civil law violation. Understanding fraud trends in Malaysia. Amid Malaysia advancing in digital era, obviously the surge in fraud presents a growing concern. From deceptive schemes to integrate cyber threats, the rise of fraud is indeed a pressing issue. So this overview unveils the escalating challenges and its implication, as you can see from some of the articles that we have put here. So these are the common online behaviors which are vulnerable to fraud. As the digital landscape has evolved, so has the fraud tactics. So basically here I would like to share to learn how to safeguard your info by recognizing risky behaviors. So firstly, clicking on a suspicious link. Customers tend to click links in fake emails that leads to scam websites where you actually reveal your banking credential information. Number two, sharing your personal data like banking credentials is shared in response to fake bank requests where someone calls and pretends to be a bank officer. Thirdly, giving out your verification code. Scammers get your TAC for customers to register a new device and perform transactions. Fourthly, like shared by the previous speakers, downloading malware, clicking on attachments which actually installs malware to steal information. I will elaborate more on this in the following slides. And fifth, urgent messages creating panic and customers actually share information without verifying the information. So these are the current, most prevailing fraud modus operandi that we see at the bank. Firstly, phone scam, which is also known as Macau scam, where they actually impersonate as bank officers, police, SPRM, court, etc. So like the example that was given by Dominica just now, when you get a scam call, the scammer will tell you, I'm now going to connect you to the Bank Negara, connect you to the police force. There's no such thing. There's no linkages in this department. There's no connection from the bank directly to the police or to Bank Negara. All right? So basically what they do is, in this scam calls, which is known as Macau scam, they basically will instill fear on victims, telling them that they are involved in drug activities, money laundering, or they have got a credit card outstanding debt. And the most important thing in these Macau scams, victims are not allowed to share information with family members. So they will say that you are currently under investigation. You should not share this information with any family members, not even with your husband or wife, as investigation is very confidential. That's their normal tagline that they always use. So victims are then required to disclose banking account information, including online banking credentials. Victims are then instructed to transfer funds or share TSC, and at times now, as you know, you're supposed to approve on your phone. They actually get customers to approve the secure code on the phone, basically. So these are some of the examples. So always stay alert and don't fall victim to such scams. Next. All right. The most prevalent fraud that we see right now actually is the advertisement scam. They basically will advertise deals on Facebook, Instagram. One good example is victims are actually enticed on advertisements. Basically, one good example, like I always like to share, is maid services. So the syndicates are very creative, especially during the COVID period. They knew a lot of people were looking for maid services. So what they do is they advertise maid services. For example, they said 2 hours, 2 maids, 40 ringgit. And what they will entice you to do, once you are interested, victims will be directed to chat via messaging app, basically WhatsApp. And victims are then required to download an APK, which is known as Android Package Kit, to their mobile phone. And basically, once you download this, actually it's a malware, which will give them access to even to suppress the SMS that goes to your phone. They'll be able to see, and you will not be seeing those SMS, because previously the bank used to send an SMS code before you can transact. That's why you would see a lot of customers say, I didn't even receive the tag, but I've lost money in my account. And the syndicates are so advanced that now they can also remotely control your device to approve a transaction. Because now the banks do not send SMS. TAC is not sent via SMS. You're supposed to approve it on your mobile phone. So as time goes, they also improvise. So basically, once they take you to a fake payment website, when you put your credentials, your username and password on the FPX web page, there are many banks. So if you have Maybank, you may choose Maybank. And when you put your credentials, they basically will get your credentials. And that's when the page will go in circles. It will show as though there's an error. But in actual fact, the syndicates will go and log in into the actual website, and they will transfer your money out. And you will not receive the SMS, where they will be able to see the SMS that's sent once you download the malware. So basically what happens is the scammer would obtain victims' banking credentials. Scammers able to access to victims' SMS or remotely access to victims' device, as you have granted the permission to the scammers. And scammers can successfully retrieve the TAC from the SMS and are able to transfer your money out. So one important advice is whenever you purchase goods, make sure you always purchase goods from authorized shopping platforms like Shopee, Lazada, and so on. Avoid downloading untrusted applications, APK, on your device. Never share details such as your card number, user ID, PIN number, password, TAC with anyone, or key them in any website other than CIMB clicks. Please note, CIMB will never ask for your username, password, or TAC under any circumstances outside of CIMB clicks. So you must only put these credentials in CIMB clicks and not in any other website. So this is another prevailing modus operandi: phishing, email, and SMS. Customers would receive fraudulent email and is urged to act quickly. Otherwise, your account will be suspended. Fraudulent emails basically contains URLs that looks like the real URL. Later on, I'll show you some examples. Once customer click on the fake URL and it actually lands on a fake website page which look exactly like the banking website, customers fill up login details and TAC on the fake website, and that's when the scammers will actually use those details and register new device and perform transaction on the genuine website. So these are some of the samples of the fake websites, and you would see the because of the light is unclear, I can't see, just hang on. So they would threaten to close your account, suspend if you did not respond timely, claims that your account has been compromised, request you to enter, validate, and verify account information. So these are some of the examples that they will use to make you act quickly. Yeah, so if you look at the fake website, one thing to note, the CIMB website will always have your chosen secure word, whereas on the fake website, the secure word will not be there. Like for example here, the secure word that was chosen by the customer was 4/5, whereas the fake one will never have a secure word. So that's how to recognize whether it's a fake website or a genuine website of a CIMB. CIMB will always carry a secure word. So never share details of your card number, username, PIN number, password, TAC with anyone outside of CIMB clicks. And do not click on links or open email attachment from unknown, unreliable senders or sources. Sign on CIMB clicks by typing the entire URL into a browser or add the URL into your favorites. Make sure you identify your secure word to ensure that you are actually in the genuine CIMB clicks online banking site. And checking your transactions regularly is very important. So this is how to protect your personal information. I'll be sharing some of the do's and don'ts to ensure that your personal information is protected. Review your account regularly and report anything unusual. Contact us by calling the number at the back of your card or refer to the CIMB website. Look for log icon or HTTPS in website URL for secure sites. And choose reputable sellers, read reviews before buying online. What are the don'ts? Do not share personal information. Always verify by calling CIMB. Avoid financing through unverified links. CIMB does not charge for applications. Like shared by the previous speakers, there are indeed a lot of syndicates out there that will provide loans to customers. They will pretend to be bank officers. This in the police term, they actually call pinjaman tidak wujud. actually the loan does not exist. Once you submit to them, they will charge you a processing fees. And once you pay the processing fees, then they'll say there's some insurance coverage. Please bear in mind, the bank will never charge for any application. So always apply from the bank. Do not apply for loans through social media website like Facebook and Instagram. Don't change your CIMB mobile number except to your own. Yeah, at times the syndicate will ask you to change the mobile number to the syndicate's number at the ATM. If unsure about online sellers, don't make the purchase. Always make purchases from reputable websites. How to safeguard your online banking credentials. Always ensure, the do's is that you always ensure that your official CIMB website properly log out after completing your transactions. Make sure you create a complex password using combinations of letters, numbers, and special characters. And another advice is, please change your password regularly. What are the don'ts? Never share your sensitive information with anyone. Do not enter these details on any website other than the CIMB clicks. Avoid clicking on links or opening email attachment from unfamiliar sources. And please take note, CIMB emails will always come with the word @cimb.com, such as the example quoted there, cimb.marketing@cimb.com. Guarding your mobile banking transactions. Always download your CIMB application from the reliable app store. Never click on links for app download. Ensure that your transaction is safeguarded and approved with a secure TAC. Also activate your biometric identity for added security on your device. Lock Clicks ID and stop all outgoing digital transaction if you notice suspicious activity on your account. This is the new kill switch that the bank has launched, has implemented. What are the don'ts? Do not use public Wi-Fi when accessing CIMB clicks to prevent your data from being compromised. Do not reveal your user ID or password to anyone. It's best that you memorize your password and do not write it down anywhere. Do not click on unknown links. Call our consumer contact center if you notice any irregular, unauthorized transactions. So this is more of protecting your cards, debit card and credit card, basically protecting your card and your PIN. Safely store your card and PIN. Always shield the keypad while entering your PIN at ATM or at point of sales terminals. So what are the don'ts? Avoid writing your PIN number in easily accessible places. Never store card details on your browser. And thirdly, always refrain from using easily guessable PIN like your birth date. Because we in the bank, we have seen many cases when customers lose their wallet, example, in your wallet, your IC will also be there. So what they will normally do, they will attempt to use your card using the numbers of your IC. So we have got many such cases. So please do not use your birth date as your PIN number. So we at CIMB, we are actually committed in protecting our customers against fraud. So these are some of the countermeasures that has been implemented as per Bank Negara requirement, which was done, which the banks were giving a deadline to implement by 30th June. So we at CIMB, with all this implementation, we have actually seen a drastic drop in the banking fraud numbers, drastic drop. So now I'll pass on to my colleague to basically just share with you all what are the countermeasures as required by Bank Negara, which all the banks in Malaysia have recently implemented.
Hi, good morning all. So I'm running the digital banking shop in CMB, and I think I should be one of the most contradicting guys in the bank, right? Because when I put up a product in CMB Clicks, I have to make sure that we have the best customer experience, user experience, and the best, easiest journey for the matter, right? But at the same time, I also have to put in these frictions to the journey, all right, because of the rise in our friends' activities on all the frauds and stuff like that. So it's really tough, if you ask me, to strike the balance. But nevertheless, like what we have here, right, we are really committed in protecting our customers. When you log on to CMB Clicks, I want to make sure that you are protected. All right, so some of the stuff that we have put in here, Gunam has mentioned that, there are risks that if we download an APK from a social media and you will have a device takeover and the fraudster will be able to hijack your phone and hijack your SMS and stuff like that. So what we have done is we have stopped sending tag through SMS. In fact, we only allow approval of transactions through the secure tag in your CMB app. Yep. And because of that, we have also said that, look, there's only one device that can be authorized to approve their transactions. So their customers or they are among us here have multiple devices. We don't want all your devices to be able to approve a transactions, right? So you need to be able to only set to one device. So we have already done that as well. If you suspect that your ID has been compromised, there's a kill switch that's being built today, right? That you can immediately go on to CMB Clicks or Octo and block your profile, right, without having to call the call center, right? So that gives you immediate control over your account. One thing that's been recently implemented by Bank Negara, which is a cooling off period, this is the worst customer experience ever, right? Tomorrow, if you were to change your phone, iPhone 15 is around, and a lot of us have changed to iPhone 15. So two things around here. Number one, in order for you, if you want to change your phone, in order for you to perform a transactions on the web, you first need to download the app into your new iPhone. When you download the app into your new iPhone so that you are able to do the transactions, but you are then now required to wait for 12 hours before you can continue the transactions. Now, it may sound inconvenient. It may sound like CMB is putting or the industry is putting a friction to you, but I think this is also a very important measures, right, for assuming if a fraudster, if your credentials are being compromised, if someone has already installed the app into their phone, at least that give that 12 hours of cooling off period for you to report, all right, for you to stop or for you to block your account. So that 12 hours becomes very important in that sense. Yep. And at the same time, obviously, on Gunam's side, there is a fraud detection engine within CMB, right, that rules, the detection rules will continuously be enhanced, and that rules will continuously be improved, all right, to mitigate all the, new modus operandi that that's already in the market or that could potentially be new to the market. In CMB as well, we also have a 24/7 hours fraud hotline where our customer is able to call in at any time and easily accessible, all right, for if there's any activities or any report at all for our customer who wants to report. I think I'll stop here. That's all I have. Gunam, can I have you up here to take any question? So these are some of the initiatives that we have done. Obviously, there are more that we will put in, continuously improve. Yes, sir.
Morning, gentlemen. Last year, I got a credit card transaction fraud, right? I don't know how this guy got my Visa card. Then suddenly I got SMS. He said, I'm incurred how many money transaction in Vietnam, and I'm still in Malaysia. Then after that, I quickly called the bank. The lady asked me to block. She blocked my Visa card. And I just ignored the transaction. It came to my credit card. I saw the statement is there, but I then don't bother about it. 1 month later, it was taken off. I want to know how in the first place this guy can get my Visa card number. And second thing, how do your bank react to such a thing? Just want to know.
All right, thanks for the question. So basically, what you experienced was unauthorized transactions on your credit card. So these transactions, like you have pointed out correctly, after a month, it was refunded to you, right? So in Malaysia, I would say Bank Negara has done a great job. So we in Malaysia, most of our transactions, our merchants that we acquire, it will require an OTP. For example, when you book an airline ticket, what you need is you need the card number, expiry date, the 3-digit that's at the back of it, and you will also receive an OTP that you need to key in before the transaction is processed. So that are known as e-commerce, secured e-commerce transaction. If there's fraud, you will not recover the money. But like in your case, it was unsecured transaction. For those transactions, what they need is just the card number, expiry date, and at most the 3-digit at the back of your card. So that can be easily compromised anywhere. And the saving grace is Bank Negara has made it mandatory. If the transaction is a non-secure one, the bank is required to send you an SMS, a notification to notify you. So if you are a customer and you dispute the transaction, what the bank will do, we will just charge back and recover. So just to share in short, most of the merchants in Malaysia are on the secured platform. And whereas a lot of merchants out there that are non-secure, as long as the customer disputes a transaction, we will block the card and the amount will be fully refunded to the bank.
I have a question, sir. This arises from the evolution of banking. From personal touch, personal banking, we moved to now only one device, that is the handphone, which I find it's very dangerous. If we lose our handphone one day, everything stops. With the bank and our money, we can't access until we get everything resolved with the branch. And the branch are also closing down. And we have to go to see the people in the bank, to interact personally with them, which I find that actually we are going backward again. That to identify ourselves that we are the proper person and the right person to deal with the bank. But with all this digital, virtual banking, we actually lose touch with the bank. May I know how, I hope the day won't come where I will lose my handphone, where I have to resolve and learn how to get back into my banking with the bank again. So maybe you can lend some ideas of how we can go back to interact personally with the bank officers. As oldies, we are oldies, so we prefer personal touch, personal banking with the people. But we find that this is all lacking at the moment. Okay, thank you.
Well, I run the digital shop. I'm not sure how to go back to physical. No, but I think seriously, at least for the traditional banks, the conventional banks here, yes, there are shutting down branches and stuff like that. But I don't believe that it will be a zero interaction. All right, at least from CMB perspective, we do have RMs, we do still have our branches, we do have our call center that can be in touch 24/7 on a daily basis. So if there's any such a need to contact the bank, always contact the number at the back of your card, all right, to get in touch with us.
Okay, coming to the fraud side, that's why I find that everything is concentrated onto our handphone. So our apps, we need to download the handphone. OTP sends to the handphone. Approval comes to the handphone. Calls comes to the handphone. Just now you just said, I want to identify the difference between the SIM card and the handphone. If we change the handphone, upgrade it to iPhone 15, the SIM card remains the same. So do we have to go into 24 hours, like what you say, the cooling off period?
12 hours cooling off period, yes we do.
So even though we change this handphone but not the SIM card?
That's the key thing. Changing your device is where the 12 hours cooling off period will be effective. Changing your SIM card, which is your
telephone number.
Effectively your phone number, no, that 12 hours will not apply technically.
Okay, so the same thing comes back that if we um, lose our handphone, we are completely cut off with the bank. And how do we let the bank know that, okay, please stop all my banking transaction. I lost my handphone. Maybe it could be overseas. The kill switch also with the handphone. We can't do that without the handphone.
Yeah. No, I think losing your phone does not necessarily means that you will lose your relationship or you lose your bank account. All right, it's just that you may not have the convenience of performing immediate transactions if you want to, yeah. But you're assuming if you have your ATM card or your debit card overseas, I mean, if you need to withdraw money from the ATM, you can still do that. The one thing potentially that you cannot do is you need to do let's say, for example, an immediate fund transfer, all right, or payment.
Okay, we go back to the internet banking using the
correct
HP, the laptop. Okay, but
You
if
can
you lose
still-
a handphone overseas, how do we contact you? In fact, yesterday I was told by the bank that there's a chat line on the apps or on the website, and we go to chat line. Well, what happens if chat line is also fake? Okay, we give our information on the chat line, and it's, as you say, there are a lot of these fake websites. So if we go into the chat line thinking that this is the authentic bank website, then we'll get scammed too.
Basically, the advice is always to call the number at the back of your card.
Yeah.
Yeah? We have not come across syndicates setting up a fake call center for the bank.
No, this is a website that you have fake counterfeit website. So the bank website now also have the chat line on their website.
Correct.
That we log in and then talk to them on the chat line.
So generally, a chat line like this on a bank website, even I think there's a rules to say that we should not ask for personal information, all right? Especially your PIN, especially your passwords and stuff like that. Now that information will never ever be asked over a channel like that, not even through call. Yeah. The bank will never ask that.
Yeah, coming to online purchases, we find that now is a trend to go online purchases. And if we order things on the online and we don't get the, it could be fraud, it could be a counterfeit, or it could be wrongful products. So why don't the bank or some authorities come up with an accreditation scheme for these online sellers or vendors, so that if we get defrauded or if we get cheated, then we can get some guarantee and get our money back.
There's more on consumer goods. I think from as far as bank as a payment processing financial institute, we just have to make sure that the payment transactions are legit. We cannot guarantee that the goods that you buy are legit.
But if we use our credit card, are we protected in that sense that we can get the reimbursement if it's counterfeit or if it's a wrongful product?
Yes, of course. If you use your credit card and you purchase it from an official website, you have got chargeback rights. If you do not get the goods, services are not rendered, as a customer, you are indeed protected.
So we can get the chargeback.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the crowd? No? I think we're good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much once again, Mr. Gurnam and Mr. Ng, for shedding the light on recognizing and preventing banking fraud. Such valuable insights indeed. Now, we proceed to our final speaker for the day. I am delighted to introduce Mr. Jeremy Mock, Director of Ensign Info Security Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Jeremy Mock to the stage.
Thank you, Darren. Hi, everyone. So I guess it's lunchtime now. We got a little bit delay, but I will just make it quick, right? So, my topic today will be about to recognize some of the cybercrimes, right? What types of cybercrimes? We heard a lot of the speakers, the panelists, is actually sharing about don't get scammed, jangan kena scam. But what lead to that, right? So we heard about, oh yeah, you receive phishing email and all that, but do you or do we or maybe the public ever know that what kind of phishing email will come to you? How does a phishing email looks like? I will have a lot of personal experience about scam, right? My wife, my family members, my friends, you know. So it comes to awareness. I heard about some of these questions from the floors. It's like, oh yeah, the authorities can do that. The authorities can we suggest this? It's very good. I think Malaysia has a very hardworking authority. Is keep on working on this scamming. But in other countries, I would say, oh, it's all about personal. It's about ourselves, right? So whether do we want to get scammed? Why we have this kind of talk? I guess thanks to Bursa Malaysia, a very good initiative. It's awareness. It's ourselves whether. What kind of awareness do we have? How do we keep ourselves safe from scam? If after all the, what I would say, preventive manners that we have applied individually and we still get scammed, then that's where the authorities comes in. So yeah. So my first slide will be talking about cybercrime, right? So we heard about phishing scam, we heard about job scam, love scam, but how does this lead into our life? How does this reach us, right? So that's where we talk about phishing. Phishing is where someone who sent an email to you from representing somebody else. For example, if Google sent you an email, it's coming from Google, but I could be the hacker, faking Google email and send to you. So I can create a website like Maybank to you or AirAsia. But when we go into AirAsia, the AirAsia will have AIIR. So, but how many of you, when logging to your website or looking to a link, you look at the URL itself, www.AirAsia. Do you double check that? We are not, right? So we just log into AirAsia and we think that, oh, the page looks like AirAsia logo, it looks red, there's a date and destination. That's where it's exactly AirAsia, and then we proceed to buy our tickets, proceed to do our transaction. But sometimes that's where it leads to cybercrime. That's one of the examples. Next slide, please. So when we talk about cybercrime, there's a lot of different methods. One of it is stealing identity. So when stealing someone's identity online, who do not have Facebook on the floor? I guess everyone has it, right? So I used to not have Facebook back then for 6 years, but I felt I cannot continue the journey. I feel so left out. I can't live without Facebook because everyone was talking about it. So everyone talking about the news, everything's, whatever news you heard is coming from Facebook. It's coming from Instagram, people are sharing. So I couldn't live after 6 years. Then I joined Facebook. But hardly I have my photo on Facebook. Because why? People are stealing your identity. It can be your name. It can be all the information that you share. It could be your picture as well. Right? So I can create another account of a Facebook account, exactly like how do I look like? Exactly Jeremy Mock, but maybe double O or double E, right? So that's where it leads, because of the digital era, it leads the cybercrime to create more and more ways to get into you or even ourselves, right? So there's credit card frauds. We are actually doing some cyber threat intelligence. We can access to some of the dark web. Every day we downloaded, I would say, thousands and thousands of credit card fraud, right? It has been reported. So then that's where the bank will actually block all these cards and do their jobs to prevent this from happening. That is also one of the cyber crime that we are facing every day. For large organizations, they are facing ransomware, right? Ransomware is where people who lock down the entire computer, all your data, like maybe not phone, but the laptop, all the data in the laptop has been encrypted and locked down. You have to pay certain ransom in order to get the data back. But the question, why I'm talking all this thing is, the question is, are we supporting cybercrime, these people to continue to do? I would say this is a business for the dark web, or I would say this is a business for the dark background people, right? We eventually are supporting them. Why? Because if we say 300 and get 3,000, for us, losing a 300 ringgit, maybe not a big deal. Why not we try, right? I know that this is a scam. Maybe I won't get 3,000, but why not we try? If we get 3,000, that is good. If it's not, then okay, it's okay. 300 is not a big deal. So eventually, people in the country, everywhere in the world, is supporting them to grow their business. That is one of the factors that cybercrime is actually increasing as well. So looking into this, that's where I say, how do we stop cybercrime as personal effort, right? Is stop sharing or preventing yourself to share informations online, right? So you have a lot of call. I don't think, back then, I think 10, 15 years back, the bank still will call and ask for information. But right now, I don't think the bank is practicing to call you and ask for information. Not at all, all right? This is also because of the increase of cybercrime. Nowadays, I don't receive a call saying that maybe from a bank, maybe from the telco, your Maxis DG or whoever, call you and ask for your information. I don't think that it happened, right? So that is also one of the effort that everyone is preventing us getting call scam. Okay, so if there's ever a call to reach out to ask your bank account information, for example, ask for your IC number or PIN, for example, that is definitely 100% scam, right? I don't think the bank is asking that right now. So this kind of call, you can just hang it up. And then what would you, if you are worried, if I worried, hey, the bank call me and say there's this transaction, if you really worried the call that you receive, what you can do is hang up the call and then go back and look for your bank, the credit card, the number at the back, call back the bank and verify, right? Instead of receiving a call to verify that, you hang up the call them back, right? If there is a transaction, that's where you can ensure and rest assured that the numbers that you are calling is the real bank call center, right? This is one of the methods as well. So how do we recognize this cybercrime? That is one of the examples that I said. Suspicious email. So there's a lot of email. I'm not checking my personal email that much because there's a lot of marketing emails that sent to you. I think now if you open up Gmail, in order to find your email is very difficult for me, right? Because there's so many marketing emails that are coming in. And the real email, the spam email will go to the junk box. It's only like what? Those are really spam. But nowadays, the attacker, or I would say the hacker, is very smart. They will target you, right? They will send you a legitimate email to you, exactly your name, with your informations, and then ask for something, or send some link, right? But how does this attacker ever find it out? Do you ever think about it? It's because of all the information that you have posted online. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, where you work, what position you are, especially in LinkedIn, right? From which year to which year. And in LinkedIn, people are changing job. They post in LinkedIn and announce it. I'm working now for CIMB, for example. I'm working for Bursa Malaysia, for example. People are getting all this information free of charge online by you posting it, right? But this is something that we can't change. But how do all these attackers, they are actually not call center, but they are actually an organization who like hundreds of them doing research. Oh, what we call this is targeted attack. Now I want to target Jeremy, for example. I will go and find and research every single information Jeremy has online. And then I will create an email and send to Jeremy. And how difficult to find my email is, I can download a list of leaked email address from anywhere, right? And then I would just say, oh, I have 100 of them. Let's try Jeremy. Let's try Darren. Let's try Ali. Let's try Mutu. All this email, how do they actually find it? Those are the hundreds of the name. One or two of them definitely will have a lot of information from online. That's where they target, right? Those are lesser information. They say, oh, forget about it. I may not be successful getting this scam, right? This is all the information that the attackers or the hackers is actually looking at. Okay, then how do you aware if you are got compromised? When we say compromise means this attacker is already in you, whether in your mobile phone or laptops or computers. How does it happen, right? When there is something happen, some incident happen from Malaysia Airlines, I think everyone remember that incident. A lot of people are posting fake news. Okay, the plane was found and so forth. Have you encountered that news before and you click on the link to see whether is it true the plane was found? I think I did click on it, I can admit. But those are the things that even I'm working in the cybersecurity industry, I sometimes will click on this kind of link. But for those who are not aware, will definitely click on that link in Facebook. What is that link means, right? It's a malware downloaded to your devices. Okay, so simply click a link is where it will download some of the malware, worms, or anything that are less harmful so that your phone will not block it or detect it, but at least it will work something out for them. So this is how dangerous in our world right now, right? So if you click on certain link that in Facebook, for example, not from the bank, just some link, you will see funny words, IMG, some wording, it has no meaning on the URL, you click on it, right? Those are where the attacker posts it. Those are where the hacker posts it. So whoever click on the link, they might have a chance to take over the entire phone or laptop, what we call compromise, right? Then they will stay there and keep quiet. So they will monitor every single transaction you do, or they will gather some of your contact lists or information out from the phone, right? And you see a lot of unexpected pops up on your laptop sometimes, right? If your laptop is like not from antivirus, the pops up not from Google, it just pops up from game, pops up from some advertisement, right? Those are the malware, or we call it a worm, that in your computer. And if your computer is connected to internet, that is where the information is being shared out, right? So these are where something that we can do, help ourselves, not leading scam to ourselves, is actually the first thing to look at is don't simply click on unidentified link. When we say unidentified link, is like if you want to look for news at Facebook, look for The Star, look for Sun Daily, for example. But someone who shares certain news that doesn't belong to any of the China press or any of the news provider, that news may be fake, and that link might be vulnerable. So how do we protect our information? Actually, that is very simple. Of course, we can't live without Facebook or sharing our movement in Facebook or Instagram. But try not to be very careful on the picture you take. Maybe house address, maybe your phone number, your IC number. Those are the information that you do not want it to be posted online, right? Even house address. Why? Because now got so many delivery, got Lala Move, got Panda, got Grab and all that. You would think that it's very normal to share it, but if this information can find in your Facebook account, in any of this information online, then there is a risk to yourself that you are exposed, right? Especially your financial bank account and all that, because yes, it is not harmful if someone know my bank account, but when a scammer know your bank account, they can do a lot of things. They won't get your money, but they will try to call you. Is your account number this, right? Then there is a transaction detected. Those are information free. And somehow or other, if our data is not being leaked, but it leaked out by ourselves. So try to be very careful or aware of what kind of information that you have posted online, and use a strong password. So I think every time I'm delivering talks even in some IT security companies or department, they will answer this question wrongly. So let me try today. Using a strong password, what does a strong password mean to you? You have two options. One is 8 character or 12 character with capital, alphanumeric, and symbol. The second option is you have 20 characters or 30 characters, which is only maybe alphanumeric but without symbol. So which is the strongest password between both? The first one, okay? Actually not. Yes, that is actually a very strong password, but if you are talking about stronger than the option number 1, is the longer password. Why? Because a password is very unique unless you use password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? If you are not, password is very unique. For attackers who need to crack a password, they need to run the randomized try. How they try it? If I have 4-digit password, they will try 0000, 0001, 0002, and go until 9,999. So that's how they crack 4 character. So in order to crack 12 character, they will go alphanumeric, symbol, they will go 12 character. So if you have 20 character, it has to run 20. And the combination of it, even without the symbol, is even longer. So sometimes it's, why do things say, oh, they cracked my password? Actually, it's not because of the hacker is very powerful. So it's again ourselves. We use a very normal password. P alias 55WORD is a very common password used in the IT world. It's password, right? It's so complicated. Got capital P alias, which is symbol, 55 is number, but it's a very common password. And in the attacker password dictionary, there's a dictionary, So, let's try this first, let's try that first, So that's how they crack your password. So you use a longer password, which means a stronger password, will save you from you getting hacked in any of the account. So again, yeah, I get it right again. Most people will get this question wrong. All right, so like I said, avoid using common phrase or words like password or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another very common one, you press your keyboard, I think WAZ, the straight line, you're pressing your shift, you press that, and then you're pressing your shift, you press 1, 2, 3, 4. So that combination is also very common. So whoever ever used that password, right, that's very common. So why you will get hacked, right? Because you are using some of these common passwords. Because sometimes we have so many, like we have banking, we have email, we have different bank, we have investment bank, we have brokers accounts, we have Grab, so many passwords. Sometimes we can't remember which password we use. We just choose the one that is very convenient for us. So if it's security, if it's about never about convenience, right? So think about it. You guys laugh. I think some of this password I guess it correctly. So never ever use that, right? So go and change your password. Avoiding phishing scam. That's where I very first. At the beginning, I talked about it, right? So sometimes you have to verify. If you are receiving an email from Maybank, right? Maybank to you, you make sure the Maybank is really spelled correctly. So maybe not MAAYBA and K to you, so it's double A. But you won't notice that because the wording is so small in the URL sometimes. The sender is Maybank. You see, Maybank. But it's a delusion that you think that it's really coming from Maybank because the color, the pictures of the email is black, yellow, logo the same. It's just that the sender is different, right? So this is where the phishing signs comes from. So it says that it's actually a misspelling of a strange URL. And then don't ever click on any other links that you download from Facebook, for example. Just check, like what I said, if you want to look for news, make sure that it's a news provider. If you want to check for telecommunications, if it's Maxis, make sure it's coming from Maxis, but not double I, right? MAXIIS is very misleading as well because the I is so small. So you have to check that to make sure that you don't get phishing scam. For organization, for people who run the office, there's more scary scam that I can share. It's very targeted. They are actually attending every single information is correct. They will send, hi CFO, exactly with the name. Of course, they don't call you CFO. They will say the name, right? Then according to this project, this PO number, this DO we have done by the date, and you bang into this account number, right? All the information is correct. So these are some of these biggest, or I would say always happen to an organization who bang in hundreds, thousands, or millions of dollars to the scammer, just of this phishing scam. But again, how do they got all this information, right? Because hacker nowadays stay beside you and keep quiet. And then they listen, they monitor, until there's an opportunity, they hack. Last time, those days, hacker comes into an environment, they make a lot of noise. How do they make? They bring down the entire organization, and then they appear in the news. Oh, Jeremy, bring down one of these bank down for 12 hours. They feel very happy, even though they don't get anything. I don't understand why. So now attacker is very smart. They come in, they just keep quiet. Until there's an opportunity, enough of data they have collected, they launch an attack. And end off, they get paid by bitcoins, they get paid by ransom that they demand for, they get paid off. So the hacker now is different, right? Next. So when I say protecting your device, right? So like all this information that I shared, this is a real life story in my wife. I think someone who shared it, the maid scam. I just moved to a new place and I lost my maid. So my wife have to go and look for a part-time maid, right? So exactly, I think everyone heard this. If it's not, then I just make it quick. You have to book a maid you have to book an appointment. You have to pay 20 ringgit deposit. So we send you an APK file to download. My wife downloaded the app. So this is where she does not protect her device properly. So when downloaded the app, there's a calendar. Once you select your date and time, you click OK, it goes to Maybank to you website. Okay, but what is missing is the picture in the middle. So my wife did not notice it and key in the username and password. It got wrong. Wrong username and password. The second time, the third time. So lucky that day I work from home. She came to me, hey, I want to book a maid. How come username and password is wrong? So when I log in from my laptop, it's correct. I log in here, cannot. I say, oh, shit. So I say, okay, never mind. You just say it's a scam. You call the bank and block your bank account and then lodge a police report, right? So what happened during that 5 minutes, right? The attacker is actually logging into the bank. And that time still TAC. So that app is supposed to intercept the TAC. That means when you install the app, it will say allowed to receive SMS. Luckily, my wife, a little bit smarter, she didn't allow that. So the attacker, the app cannot read the SMS. The TAC keep on coming. The TAC keep on coming, So those are the time that the attacker, once you log in the app, the attacker from the other side already has your username and password. Then they will log into the real bank account and transfer money out. But during that time, still require TAC, but the TAC does not flow it over because they did not click the allow. So if you are using Android phone, any app that you install, every action that the app has to do, they will ask you allow or don't allow. Okay, if you recall. So a lot of people say Android is not safe because it's very easy to get hacked. iPhone safer and all that. Actually not, both of them are the same. It's just that we are not aware, right? So every app that you install, if the apps you install who wants to read your contact, your files, or your message, the Android will prompt up and ask you whether you allow or not. So don't simply allow apps to read your contact list or your message, right? This is how you can actually protect your devices. Don't simply click on the links. The emails that you receive, don't simply click on those links that they send to you, right? This is, I have another story for this public Wi-Fi, right? So a lot of us going anywhere, we love to find free Wi-Fi. But in a lot of countries, when my friends, I travel with my friends and all that, they say free Wi-Fi. I say, yeah, free Wi-Fi, but no free internet. What does it mean, right? So Wi-Fi is just a device to broadcast the connectivity that you connect to another devices, right? Then whether that Wi-Fi devices connect to internet is another story. I used to do a lot of things back then when I was young. When I travel outstation, I go to any hotel for work, I love to share my Wi-Fi out. So I use my hotspot, I stay in the room, I share, I would say free Wi-Fi. A lot of people click on it. When people click on it, I can see a lot of things in the computer. What are the Facebook they're browsing, you know, their computer files and all that. So this is a lesson learned that sometimes free Wi-Fi is good when we need connectivity. But I think Malaysia telco companies are very good. Our mobile broadband or our data is cheap. So why I don't encourage my family members, my friends, to use free Wi-Fi nowadays? Because you got 60 gig or 100 gig from the mobile, you hardly can finish within a month if you are not watching drama all the times, right? But you hardly can finish it. So don't ever connect to public Wi-Fi to do your investment transaction, your e-banking. They are not safe at all, right? So whenever you connect to a free Wi-Fi, some people may be in the same Wi-Fi to take out information. We call that man-in-the-middle attack. So that means you are here, the Wi-Fi is here, some hacker is staying at the middle. Whatever things that you transfer, it will then just look into it, right? It will get all your information. But again, the authorities, the banks, did a lot of effort to make sure that nowadays, even though you intercept, you don't see the username password. Back then, many years back, you can really see the username password. When you click login, then the username password actually, you can actually intercept it. So I used to be an ethical hacker. I hack a lot, right? Why you smile? I really ethic. So I used to be a pen tester. We call it an ethical hacker, where before any organization launch an app, we have to test it, right? We have to try to hack. Okay, so we hack, we find out some flaws, bugs, and then we tell the organization, you have to fix this before you launch your app, right? So that's where when I connect to all this free Wi-Fi, I love to hack also, right? So sometimes when one of these term called red teaming, where an organization will hire a bunch of ethical hacker, try to hack their employees. Right? So the one thing that I love to do is, I don't understand where is this logic. The Wi-Fi is on 29th floor up there, right? Called 29th floor Bursa Malaysia, for example. And I go into the Starbucks at the lobby, 29th floor to lobby, and I still put the Wi-Fi that I'm sharing 29th floor Bursa Malaysia. And these 29th floor people come to the lobby still connecting the 29th floor Wi-Fi. So this is something that I love to do. Why? Because anyone can create a Wi-Fi and offer it out. So what happened is I do that, right? When they click login, they require username password. So imagine if you go home or you go to your office, connect your Wi-Fi, do you need to key in username password every time? You don't need, automatically connected. If no changes on your devices, just before lunch hour, I connect to my office Wi-Fi, no problem. During lunch hour, after 5 minutes, I go to lobby, 29th floor Wi-Fi, I click on it, I say, how come username password? But no people aware. They will still key in the username and password. That is how the attacker get 29th floor username password for the Wi-Fi. Not username password, the password for the Wi-Fi. So I will use whatever information that these people keying in at the Starbucks. I go back to 29th floor. I connect to the 29th floor Wi-Fi. So this is how easy it could happen to us in the daily world, you know. So Wi-Fi is the most dangerous thing, because all the panelists, all the speakers are sharing, there is a lot of scam, you have to be aware and all that, but I always very curious, how does this scam or phishing lead it to you, to yourself, right? So there are a few things that, let me conclude this, there are a few things that you should do. If sometimes we do not know, we are so into something, we get lost for a moment, it's okay. I think everyone has that experience. But when you need to transfer money to a person, for example, you want to make someone payment for PDRM, talk to your friends, talk to your family members. Oh, later or tomorrow I'm going to pay my someone. There's this 80 or 99% discount from PDRM. You know, so sometimes because we have 30 someone, maybe 99% is very attractive. So if we get blur a moment, we get stuck. Oh, 99%, good, right? So talk to the people, your friends, your family members. Share them exactly what you're going to do, right? They will wake you up, right? Tell them, tomorrow I'm going to pay someone 99% discount. They will say, hey, how come got 99%? Maybe they got stuck also. It's okay, but they will start Google. Then they will find, oh, there's a news saying that the scam 99% someone, then you will get aware, right? That's number one. Number two, don't click on any link. Protect your devices. Don't simply click on those links that are unidentified. Look into those URL that you really want to look at, right? Again, I would like to remind, AirAsia is only one eye sometimes, right? Not sometimes, most of the time. If you look at AirAsia double eye, exactly red color, exactly the same page, don't believe that, close it, right? This may help a little, but not a lot. Sometimes you may want to restart your laptop, you may want to restart your phone, right? Scan your phone and your laptop with antivirus protections and all that. Why the restart works, right? Sometimes when you click on certain link, there are certain connectivity between your phone, your laptop with the attackers. Okay, so that link is active before they can do anything. So if you restart, the connection will get reset. You have to go and click on the same link again for the connectivity. So it does not work most of the time. Sometimes once you click the link forever, how many times you restart also they will be there, right? So it depends, but I do practice it myself. Sometimes I'll just curious, the news that I look at it, looks very interesting, click on the link, oh, got nothing. So I will restart my phone then, right? So just make sure that, oh, there's no connectivities. Once you restart your phone, internet is down, your mobile data is down, so the connectivity is shut off, right? Not necessary, once you click on the link, the worm, virus, malware will store in your phone. Not most of the time, right? So try to protect your devices. Yeah, I guess that's all from my end. Maybe on the floors, you have any questions or any experience to share? Yeah.
What about using incognito mode in the notebook to access public Wi-Fi? Is it safe?
So long as public Wi-Fi, I would say there is a risk. Okay. I don't use that, to be honest. I will just use my mobile to share the mobile hotspot to connect to internet. Share you some experience. Now they improve. Any of the coffee shop, I mean those Starbucks, Coffee Bean, you know, they offer Wi-Fi. Back then, I think more than that. 8 years back, when you connect to, let's say you connect to Starbucks Wi-Fi, I connect to Starbucks Wi-Fi, I can actually see your computer. Yes. So if you have any share folder, especially office laptop, you love to share drive, you love to share folder, and then you never close it back. So when you go to any of this public Wi-Fi, I can see the share folder. So this is new, right? But now, no, now improve. Now when you connect to those Wi-Fi, you can only, it's within yourself, you don't see anybody else. But back then, yes. But I cannot guarantee any other shop using the same configuration, same security manner. It could be the 8 years back Starbucks, right? So Starbucks, Coffee Bean, those are the people who are not just earning your money by giving you coffee, but they have to pay for securities. They limit you to connect to 1 hour. They have to improve their securities because a lot of complaint, right? So now they improve. Many years back already, they improve because I won't say it's a habit, but sometimes it's an ethical hacker, it's hacker, right? So, so when we see public Wi-Fi, we connect, then we will see what we can see. So it's very curious, right? So there's a lot of people like me, and now with AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning, the technology is helping, right? So what do? They just say, oh, I need a picture of Jeremy Mock. The AI will just generate that picture out. Okay, so really, this one generated by AI, I will just say I want a picture of conclusion. You go back my slide, you see all my picture is the same, but it's related. So this one is Wi-Fi, there's a people there. All this is generated by AI. Okay, so I don't own that picture. I just ask AI to generate me a picture that personal information. So the cartoons or the hero will just look exactly like what I wanted. So it's related, right? So nowadays, digital world is so, it's good and bad, all right? So I can ask AI to generate me anything. At the same time, I can also ask AI to hack me everything, all right? so it's very dangerous right now, just that you have to be aware. And sometimes whatever you see, it may not be true. There's one picture that I see, is our Prime Minister holding, I don't know what, Tom Yum, or a can of drinks for advertisement. That picture is also generated by AI. But that picture that I have is exactly the same, right? So there's no flaws. It's just that maybe the finger not that nice. It's just holding like that. A full portrait of that can of juice or Tom Yum, I can't remember, but it looks like our Prime Minister. Exactly the same, 100%. So that are one of the examples that AI generated picture. Any other question? Yes?
Nowadays, there are a lot of people using the ChatGPT.
Yes, the AI.
So I also have friends who are in IT industry who say that actually when using ChatGPT, in fact, you are actually subject yourself to a lot of security risks. I don't know what's your opinion on that.
I don't doubt it, but you have to be smart on how you are using ChatGPT. For example, I want to write an email, right, for this organization. I will replace that organization with ABC. That means if I want to write to Bursa Malaysia, I won't put Bursa Malaysia there. So that the ChatGPT would not know that these are the information to Bursa Malaysia or from Bursa Malaysia, right? So you copy whatever you want to write to Bursa Malaysia, is okay, but whatever Bursa Malaysia words, you replace it with ABC. So that kind of content means nothing to the AI. And in fact, yes, I don't doubt that all these provider, nothing is free, no free lunch. Why they are giving all these things to the people and use it for free, right? It's collecting information, right? When you register a ChatGPT account, you tell your name, you tell your email, you tell your age group, whatever question that you ask means they are collecting, they are collecting data, they are doing data analysis. What are the questions that you will ask? What are the things that you will use for and all that hosted back into their storage, what we call a data lake. Okay, it's a lake, big lake of data. All the data that they have, then they can do analysis. So, which is right, we will impose our risk, but be smart on how we are going to use the AI. I use it a lot, but I have to be very careful on the information, especially PII, personal identified informations. Don't post it there. Just replace it with something.
Sorry, I have a question regarding the tethering. How safe is it?
Sorry?
The tethering, you said you were using another mobile phone and then you do tethering to your...
Tethering.
Yeah.
Tethering is, tethering has no issue if your phone is not being compromised. Again, if you do e-banking or all that, tethering using your own mobile track, very difficult for the attackers to hack it because you are not there for a long time, right? You just open it up, that's where the connection is there. So, and it's not open all time. And to intercept the tethering is not easy. Possible, but not easy because the number of hours that you are there, maybe half an hour or an hour, and then you're traveling around. There's not some things that are exposed all the time. So the risk is low. Yes.
Actually, I just want to thank you for a very interesting, and you made it very simple for all of us. I think it was very good. Just want to congratulate you over a good presentation. Just wanted you to clarify again. You mentioned about the 29th floor Bursa security and when you log in on the lobby. I kind of lost you there. Could you clarify and give us an example
Okay.
of where the risks are?
Can. So that is just one of the scenario or example that I shared. So actually got no risk to your. So that is what, let me repeat, there is an activity or I would say a practice done by some large organization to hire some ethical hacker to hack the organization on purpose. So every single large organization will have their IT security team, will have their IT team and all that. The CEO usually is a board of director, would like to know how secure or what are the assurance to the board, right? That the employees is actually protecting the organization, or what are the risks of the employee will give to an organization, right? So this hacker will go in. There's a lot of scenario. One of the scenario, it could be I act like a cleaner to go into a CEO office. That's one of the example, right? So that's test what? That's test the guard, the access card, social engineering. Another example is for us to gain information from the deep end of the server. There's hundreds of servers. There's one server very important. We call it Active Directory, where store all the information of the employees, right? So one of the scenarios is to gain access. But how to gain access is I'm nobody to the organization, right? To lead me to gain access to the server is for me to first connect to the network. But how do I connect to the network? Because I'm not the guest, I'm not the employee, I'm nobody, right? So in order to connect to the network, I need to gain the password for the Wi-Fi. So I walk to 29th floor again. I see there's this Wi-Fi, this name. So now you open up your phone, you will see what are the Wi-Fis around you, right? But you couldn't connect it because it's password protected. So I will just create a Wi-Fi using exactly the name, right? And I open it up to a public. So I can put no password to connect to that Wi-Fi. Then when they connect, I can prompt up something to key in a password. It looks like when you connect to that Wi-Fi, you need to key in a password. So when you see exactly the Wi-Fi name that you're going to connect, are you going to key in your password in order to get Wi-Fi access? Yes. So when you key in that, I will have that password already. That first step to get connected to the organization network, right? So I hope I explained this scenario.
This is about ransomware. So of course, once we got hacked by the ransomware, we can access our files. So is there any possible way to recover all the files, or should we just move on?
There is thousands of ransomware out there, right? And 60 to 80% of it is already I would say it can be recovered. The forensics people already discover how to break it, right? But there are still 20% that no way, for example, right? So backup, if we are not doing backup or the organization is not doing backup, you will know way that you can recover from files. And that's where you will give business to them if it's so important. All right, so organization has no choice because they don't have backup and they can never ever lose that data. That they will say, they will gamble it. Why do I say gamble? After you transfer, you may not get back your file, right? So, but a lot of organizations, to be honest, are supporting. I have even some bank is asking, oh, I have this leakage. Then we found it on the dark web, and he asked me, can we buy? Because it's his data, he want to know what kind of data. So again, I won't blame them because they really want to know what are the leakage out there, right? So they need to find out. But in order to find that out, no way you can get it. Even we can't hack it. So the only things that you can do is you buy. So I say, no, you better don't buy. Because you are supporting, right? You're encouraging them to hack more. Yeah.
I have received an apps application from one of the e-wallet asking me to allow access to my email, my photograph, my handphone. So I have stopped that. I mean, I disagree. But then they keep on asking, if I want that, I must be able to click yes, agree, and then only I can proceed further. So I find, is there any risk there to click yes, agree?
Depends where you download your app. If you download your app at the website, there's a risk. If you download the app from the Apple Store or from the Play Store, risk is lesser.
How do I know whether my information have been compromised by the e-wallets?
You can't promise that, right? There's no 100% in IT security. What you can do is, if your app is actually downloaded from the genuine store, like Play Store or Apple Store, that app usually is safe. Because the bank spend a lot of money to make sure that the apps up there is safe, right?
From their side, it could be genuine, but they are asking me.
So if you are, so if you are opening up the app, that app is actually asking you a question. So if an app is safe, basically you answer those questions are safe. You can allow them, right? But you have to be very careful. A lot of people make this mistake, is where they download the app from a website. Even even a bank who offer a download from the website, don't do that. Why? Because I can upload any of the link to download on the website. But in order for us, or organization or the bank, to upload to Play Store, there's a lot of checks or verifications or clarifications. They have to match this exactly hash. They have to match this exactly number of lines of codes. There's a lot of compliance in order to host the app in the Play Store. So if those are the providers or a bank who has an app there, is safe. Okay, but what are not safe? This is another example that I can give you. Shopee, for example, Lazada, for example, whatever e-commerce website, for example, if you put your details in their website, right? So Shopee, Lazada, or whatsoever can be very safe. But let me ask you, if you connect to a public Wi-Fi and your laptop is not safe, you do the transaction, you got hacked. Whose fault? For sure it's Shopee lah, right? Because you're using their website ma. So a lot of people will think like that, right? So a lot of authorities, a lot of organizations will get blamed. Because of I'm transacting, I'm buying things, right? Then I transfer. So the bank has my account, has my money, e-commerce has my details, and now I got hacked. So their fault. So this is what usually happen, which is no right and wrong. But as I say, right, for this presentation is, first, we need awareness to protect ourselves. You can have any of the e-commerce transaction, but don't use your bank account. auto top up. Don't use your bank account where you save all your hard-earned money there. You know? So sometimes it's not they got hacked, it's just that the hacker somehow rather very smart. Right? Then they take out all our money. But if you use credit card, what's the big deal? Claim back. Cannot. Don't use debit card. Use credit card. Yeah. So I never use my bank account, my debit card for any online transaction. I don't love. Even I'm working in IT, it's convenience, but I don't like it, right? Because it's all the money there. But no choice. We have to move on. So we counter them. How we counter them? We use credit card. There's one transaction for my Citibank credit card, 11,000 at midnight. They bought the Mac in Canada. So it's like, oh. And the bank is so good. They don't need you to pay upfront. They will just reimburse for 6 months. It's a process. It's very tedious, 6 months. They will investigate the amount. You just don't like to see that amount in the statement. But it's okay, the bank don't charge you. They will reimburse you. You don't need to pay. You don't need to pay upfront, right? It's just that you see it in the statement. They don't charge you finance charge because it will reimburse to you once you lodge a dispute. So use credit card. Any other question? If it's not, yep, last question. Oh, if you are in the IT world, there's a lot of VPN got hacked. Even Cisco recently got a lot of 0 days, you know. So I would say VPN is something that we need to use to secure our connectivity, but whether can it be hacked? Can. Confirm can. So it's like a health check, yeah? In IT world, it's like a health check. You ask me if I keep on eating a lot of meat and I don't go for health check, will I get heart attack or not? Confirm you will get heart attack, right? But every year I go for a visit, I make sure I do my health check, and then when I know that I have this disease, I take medicine or I go surgery, then I won't die because of heart attack. In IT world, same. Every month we have to scan. Every month we have to scan, we have to make sure, you know, this device is safe, got no sick, no illness. If there's an illness, we have to feed them medicine. But it's not with water and medicine. There's a way that we heal them. So to make sure that we are safe. In IT world, it's actually like same. Like our CT scan, our MRI scan. That's what we do, our day-to-day job. So like these guys, I think every month they scan their apps, you know. Whatever developed, they have to make sure it's safe to protect people, you know. That's how the IT world works. Human, once a year. IT, every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jeremy, for that enlightening share. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in a round of applause to all our speakers today for their time. Thank you for attending. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with that insightful session, we draw to a close of our event today. Your presence and participation have been immensely valuable. Remember our hashtags for today: stay sharp, stay alert, and jangan kena scam. These are simple phrases, but they can protect you from financial fraud. We have a photo booth outside. Don't forget to take photos here. Lunch is served at the listing gallery located right across the conference room. Our ushers will show you the way. And as you make your way to lunch, you may leave the bells at your chairs. Once again, on behalf of Bursa Malaysia, thank you to everyone here for joining us. It's been great having you at the exchange. Stay safe, have a great day, and salam sejahtera. Thank you very much.